Welcome to the Remediation Deep Dive, your source for distilled, impactful knowledge in environmental remediation. We break down the science, the strategies, and the stories shaping our field so you can stay sharp, informed, and one step ahead. I'm Max Flux, and with me today is Sandy Loam. We're diving into what looks like a really crucial paper. It's titled Longevity of Colloidal Activated Carbon for In Situ PFAS Remediation at AFFF Contaminated Airport Site. But the authors are Grant Arcari, Saifullah Hakimabadi, Manteek Singh, Rick McGregor, Claire Woodfield, Paul J. Van Giel, and Anlatwan Pham. So our mission for you today is to unpack how this novel approach using colloidal activated carbon is tackling, a really persistent problem, PFAS groundwater contamination, especially from those aqueous film-forming foams. AFFF used so much at airport fire training areas. We're really focusing on how long this CAC solution actually lasts in the ground.
Exactly. What this publication clearly demonstrates is that CAC treatment has the potential to treat PFAS in groundwater for multiple decades, if not hundreds of years, all from a single injection. This offers huge advantages compared to other options like pump and treat, often called P&T, which typically uses granular activated carbon, or GAC. While P&T and GAC do remove contaminants, they generate an ongoing PFAS waste stream that needs continuous management, which is a major headache.
Okay, yeah, let's unpack that a bit. Many of us, we're familiar with the challenge of PFAS contamination, especially from AFFF at airports. It's persistent, it's toxic, a really tough nut to crack.
Yeah.
And like you said, traditional methods like bump and treat, they often just create another problem with all that waste. So what makes this CAC approach so different?
Well, what's really fascinating here is how CAC offers this powerful in situ alternative. That means treating it right there in the ground. Its particles are tiny, just 1 to 2 micrometers. Compare that to GAC, which is more like 500 to 1,000 micrometers. Huge difference.
Wow, yeah. Microscopic almost.
Pretty much. And that size difference is critical. It means the CAC can be easily injected. And then it distributes really well within the aquifer. Think of it like creating this sort of microscopic sponge network right in the soil pores. It adheres to the soil.
Okay.
And forms what they call a sorption zone that just grabs the PFAS as the groundwater flows through. So it's much more efficient for in situ treatment, and you get less water just bypassing the treatment zone.
Right, like an underground filter that the water has to pass through.
Exactly, a very effective one. So given this clever in situ mechanism, the obvious question is, how long can it actually keep working?
Yeah, that's the big one. And the paper, well, it presents some really astonishing figures on longevity, doesn't it?
It really does. The modeling they did shows remarkable potential. We're talking over 900 years for PFOS and over 200 years for PFOA and PFHXS. Those are key PFAS compounds.
900 years.
Yeah.
From one injection.
From a single injection under their base case conditions. I mean, think about that. For you listening, imagine the cost, the sheer logistics of dealing with contamination for centuries using traditional methods. This single injection idea, it just fundamentally shifts the whole remediation game. It offers a potentially sustainable, almost hands-off solution for generations. That's the real game changer.
Okay, but how does that work? What makes it last so long?
Well, the study found longevity is directly proportional to a couple of things. How much CAC you actually get into the soil, and its sorption affinity, basically how strongly it grabs onto the PFAS. But it's inversely proportional to how much PFAS is coming in, the concentration, and also how fast the groundwater is flowing. Makes sense, right? More contaminant, faster flow, it gets used up quicker.
That makes sense. But, groundwater isn't just pure water and PFAS. Are there other things down there that could interfere, maybe reduce that incredible longevity?
That's a really important point. And yes, absolutely. The paper points out that dissolved organic carbon, DOC, and also PFAS precursors, those compounds that can break down into PFAS later,
right,
they can reduce the CAC's effectiveness. So a key strategy they discuss is placing these CAC treatment zones down gradient from the main source area.
Okay, why down gradient?
Well, the idea is that further away from the source, some of those interfering compounds like DOC might have naturally attenuated or broken down already. So you're giving the CAC a cleaner shot at just the PFAS, maximizing its lifespan.
Clever. So that's the modeling and the theory. What about the real world? Have they seen this work in actual field applications?
Yeah, they looked at 17 field studies, and these consistently showed good short-term success, anywhere from about 4 months up to 6 years of monitoring data. And they were seeing really impressive reductions, like 90 to 99% removal of PFAS within the treatment zone.
Wow, 90 to 99%, even with other stuff in the water.
Exactly, even when co-contaminants were present. And what's maybe even more interesting is that the modeled longevity, those hundreds of years we talked about,
right,
That turned out to be largely insensitive to different cleanup goals. Even if you change the target cleanup level by orders of magnitude, the predicted lifespan didn't change all that much.
Why is that?
It's because these CAC zones create really sharp breakthrough curves. Basically, the treatment works extremely well for a long, long time. And then when it eventually gets exhausted, the PFAS concentration climbs very quickly. So that long period of high effectiveness isn't really affected much by exactly how low you need the concentration to be. It makes the performance very robust and predictable. It's pretty impressive to see the models hold up like that in the field.
Yeah, that is impressive. So if we sort of connect all these dots, the tiny particles, the strong sorption, the long modeled life, the field results, it really paints a picture of a remarkably stable, very long-term solution.
It does. And the paper also mentions other strategies you could combine with this. Things like reducing the mass flux, the total amount of PFAS coming out of the source area.
How did you do that? Like paving over an old fire training area?
Exactly. Or maybe diverting clean groundwater around the contaminated plume so less water flows through the source. These things could potentially extend that already impressive longevity even further.
So thinking about this incredible longevity, this idea of a single injection potentially lasting centuries, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Beyond just airports, where else could this technology potentially unlock the cleanup of other really stubborn contaminants? Could it fundamentally shift how we approach cleaning up legacy environmental sites across the board? Well, that's all the time we have for this deep dive. We certainly hope this has given you some valuable insights in the complex and evolving world of PFAS remediation.